Hello, welcome to the PhoneWord Forum on Wednesday, April the 29th, 2015. It is 4 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Jay Carpenter. I'm the moderator of the PhoneWord Forum, and today we have an open session, and we're going to be talking about some of the current developments in the naming, numbering, and addressing space, as well as some recent developments in the blockchain technology space, and basically open it up for anybody who'd like to call in and join us for the conversation. To get the dial-in number, you can go to phoneword.com, that's PHONEWORD.com, and go to the PhoneWord Forum, and you can see the dial-in number. So please feel free to dial in, ask any questions you might have. So I'm going to just share with you a few things that have happened since last month's PhoneWord Forum. First of all, the Modern group had their meeting in Dallas, or I think it was in Dallas, it was in Texas, and we've talked about on the last PhoneWord Forum a little bit about the presentation that was made, and you can now see a recording of that presentation. If you go to, and I've posted one of the links here, but let me screen share, excuse me, and okay, that's not quite it. We're going to talk about this one in a moment, but this is a recording as well as the presentation of the IETF 92 Modern meeting, Birds of a Feather meeting that happened on March the 26th. You can see this recording. I posted this URL, and you can actually go to this recording and listen to it. It's quite interesting. This is Henning Schultz-Rennie, and he steps through his presentation on some of the current areas that are being addressed in the Modern group, as well as in the naming, addressing, and numbering space overall, particularly how to transition legacy telephone numbers and migrate all networks into Internet Protocol network. So this is quite an interesting presentation. There's another presentation that follows Henning's and some general discussion. And if you are interested in what's going on in this space, highly recommend you take a look at this presentation and the meeting in general. Excuse me, the Modern group seems to continue to work on their charter, and that seems to be the latest initiative that's underway by them, and you can, I believe you can subscribe to their list as well. So this is one of the recent developments that's happening in the naming, numbering, and addressing space. The other item that is happening is currently the Internet 2 is hosting a global summit for people in the research and academic space primarily. This is happening in Washington, D.C., April 26th through the 30th, so tomorrow will be the last day. You can go to this site and see some of the developments that are happening. Some of the folks from INRENUM, which is the global consortium of academic and research institutions that's working on a new space to create basically easy to connect to video conferencing and other rich media connectivity. They are there, and they are working on this document, which is an architecture for global real-time communications exchange. And here's some of the folks that are working on that. Peter Segede has been on the PhoneWord Forum in the past, as well as PhoneWord workshops. And he is in DC, and they are working on this particular document, which is a general architecture and I would say some governance issues for what's next with naming and addressing and numbering in the realm of the transition from the public switch telephone network, the copper telephone network, into an all IP space. So this document is quite interesting. We will have some links to this in the PhoneWord workshops in the future, which is sister initiative to the PhoneWord forum, and you can take a look at that as well. So, excuse me. The other thing that has happened during this month, April, is there's been a new proposal in the blockchain realm by Stellar. So stellar.org is an initiative, a nonprofit initiative that is taking on the blockchain area, decentralized consensus, and a whole host of what I would say are very interesting topics in the decentralized technologies and blockchain space. They have retained David Mazares, I believe is how you pronounce his name, the chief scientist at stellar.org. He's also a professor of computer science at Stanford, and he has produced a paper, this paper, in fact, which I think is very interesting. It's a different approach to federated consensus using the blockchain model, as well as some very interesting voting and federated entity arrangements. I would say this is a new approach, and it takes some of the ideas that have been successful with the blockchain construct and architecture in Bitcoin and starts to address some potential advantages and new ways to restructure that so that you get even better consensus and better workability around the blockchain. So I'm still digesting this paper, but my initial reaction is it looks like it's got some interesting approaches. You can also see this video, which was just released, I believe, on April 21st, which David goes through and talks about some of the, let me see if I can play a little. Here you can see he's presenting. The audio on this is leaves something to be desired. There is a posting of his presentation along with this YouTube video, and you can Google it as Stellar Consensus Protocol SF Meetup. So I would recommend you take a look at that, and we're going to be talking about this approach and maybe a modification to this approach as a consensus arrangement and registry arrangement for what might be next in naming, addressing, and numbering. So those are the primary areas, the three primary areas that I have been interested in. Basically, what's going on with modern, what's going on with this Stellar and the blockchain, and what's been going on with the NRenum community. So those three items, I think, are the items of most interest in this space, and I'd highly recommend you take a look at those. So that pretty much covers what I was interested in covering today. And let me tell you about some of the upcoming events that are happening. There will be a PhoneWord Workshops event on Wednesday, May 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern, and it's my intention to have some code and something in a prototype that will be working by then. So please go to PHONEWORDworkshops.com to follow that progress. And then also on May 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll have the second PHONEWORD workshops for that for the month of May. And it's my intention that we will continue to cover code. And then on May the 27th, we'll have the next PHONEWORD workshops, and there's the topic is open at this point, and we'll be considering guests for that event. So in addition, if you are interested, you can go to meetup.com and blockchain tech, and there will be a, let me screen share this for you. Pardon me. I'll maneuver here a little bit. And if you're in the Phoenix area, you're welcome to join us on May the 12th at the Badwater Brewing establishment in Scottsdale, and which, by the way, takes Bitcoin. But we will be talking about Bitcoin JS, which is a JavaScript dependency for Node.js and a wallet mechanism. And please feel free to join us for that. In the future, it's our intention to invite some people via Google Hangout to the blockchain meetup, and to build, the blockchain meetup to be designed for people that are interested in more of the coding elements of blockchain. So that is what's going on. While I've got this up, let me go to Bitcoin JS. Look at that. Okay, so this is Bitcoin JS, and I'm going to be experimenting with that as well for a JavaScript Bitcoin library for building wallets and Bitcoin related elements associated with Node.js. So that is about the realm of topics that I had on the agenda for today. Appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned for more as this progresses, and hopefully in short order we'll have something for you where you can actually try out and play with and see what's possible in the realm of naming, addressing, and numbering. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your interest. Please contact me, Jay Carpenter, at PhoneWord.com under the PhoneWord forum if you have any suggestions or any items of interest that you would like us to cover. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.